Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is RBT and welcome back to another Madden 18 combination experiment today. Today, we are going to be combining the AFC North teams all into one mega super divisional team to see if they can run the table, potentially go 16-0, but most importantly, no matter what they do in the regular season, win the Super Bowl. Because in all reality, as we've seen in all these videos, with 4 teams combined into one for every single experiment we've done so far, because we've done almost every single division up to this point, we're going to finish off by doing all the divisions the rest of this week if this is not the last video. I don't know when I'm uploading these, but as we've seen, every single team with every division combined is so talented they should be winning the Super Bowl, but Madden's stupid sometimes, so we just have to see if the AFC North can do the god dang thing. But regardless, hopefully guys do enjoy today's experiment video, and if you do, make sure to drop a like. Let's see if we can continue the trend and smash 2,000 likes for another Madden 18 experiment on the channel. Be sure to let me know what division you want to see next if this is not the last video. And be sure to let me know as well of any future Madden 18 experiment ideas you do have for the channel in the comment section below. But with that said, subscribe if you're new, turn on the notification bell if you haven't. Let's jump into the video and show you guys the roster of the AFC North combined into one. Starting quarterback is going to be Big Ben, backed up by Andy Dalton. At running back, one of the best in the league, Le'Veon Bell, Isaiah Crowell, Joe Mixon, and Jeremy Hill, and Duke Johnson. At fullback, we have Patrick Ricard, and at wide receiver, one of the best 1-2 punches we've seen in any of these videos, Antonio Brown, AJ Green, Mike Wallace, Jeremy Maclin, Martavis Bryant, Corey Coleman, and Juju Smith. Moving on to tight end, Tyler Eifert, backed up by Ben Watson and David Njoku, the young rookie, Jesse James, and Seth the Valve. The offensive line, the veteran Joe Thomas, backed up by Ronnie Staley and Alejandro Villanueva. At left guard, Marshall Yanda, the veteran, backed up by Joel Bitonio. At center, we have Marquise Pouncey, backed up by David DeCastro and Raymond Foster. At right guard, here we do have David DeCastro, backed up by Kevin Ziegler and Joel Bitonio. And at right tackle, we have Marcus Gilbert. And I think we should, just to be smart, we should have like one of these guys, at least Joel Bitonio, start instead of Marquise Pouncey, because wouldn't that make sense because he's higher overall. But now moving on to defense, we have Stephon Tuitt on the left side, backed up by Brandon Williams and Carlos Dunlap. At right end, we have Cameron Hayward, backed up by Myles Garrett and Brandon Williams. At D tackle, Geno Atkins, Michael Pierce, Javon Hargrave, Danny Shelton, and Larry Ogunjobi. Now on the linebacker core, we have Vontaze Burfict, backed up by Jamie Collins and Bud Dupree. In the inside, we have Ryan Shazier, backed up by CJ Mosley. On the right side, have Terrell Suggs, backed up by Vontaze Burfict once again. And moving on to the secondary, we have Jimmy Smith, Jason McCourty, Joe Hayden, Brian Body Calhoun, and Artie Burns. Now at free safety, we have the veteran Eric Weddle, and at strong safety, we have Tony Jefferson, backed up by Sean Williams. At kicker, Justin Tucker, one of the best in the league, if not the best. And at punter, Sam Cock. Now, boys, I will say, after looking at the team, it's a good team. Don't get me wrong, it should win the Super Bowl every time. But still, it's not, I don't think it really compares to some of the other teams. Maybe on the defense, at least. The offense is pretty good. It's pretty good, maybe not depth-wise, but talent-wise, it's pretty good. But it just really doesn't compare, especially defensively. A lot of 80s, there's only 2 90s or 3 90s on offense, or on defense rather. So the team might not, I think it should win the Super Bowl, but with this being Madden, I don't think they will. So as always, first thing we do is check to see where the players from our team who got cut, because the roster size is too large, where they ended up. I don't think it's many players that did get cut. DJ Jones to the Giants, Ladarius Gunter to the Eagles, Juju Smith to the Lions, that's a notable one. Corey Coleman to the Broncos, another notable one. Seth the Valve to the Packers. Derrick Kendrick got cut and signed to the Bengals. We had Scooby Wright to the Ravens. Anybody else? Prince Shimbo to the Seahawks. Chris Boswell got cut, signed to the Texans. Kenneth Dixon to the Colts. Duke Johnson back to the Browns. Calvin Pryor to the Raiders. Larry Ogunjobi to the Bengals. Eddie Royal to the Panthers, and I'm pretty sure that was it. So not too many players cut, but some notable ones nonetheless. So with that said, it is prediction time, and I'm going to make a bold prediction. I don't know why. I'm going to predict 5 losses, 11-5. The video I just recorded, I'm not going to spoil it in case I haven't uploaded it yet. Dog, if that team got as many losses as they did, this team's going to get more. I'm going to say 11-5. I could be completely wrong here. Let me know your predictions in the comment section below. They should still win the Super Bowl, I think, but 11-5, that's the worst I predicted a team to do, but I could be completely wrong. So the team does, in fact, get a first-round bye. The offense progressed pretty well, so they should probably have the best offense in the NFL. Stat-wise, and the defense did about what I expected, but I think that's still pretty good. Maybe they won, maybe they only lost 3 games. That's my new prediction. Just kidding. They did like the best. I'm an idiot. They go 15-1. The Ravens, although they have like all their best players gone, still win 6 games. Bengals won 5, and the Browns, the Browns losing their best players probably should have won negative games, but somehow they still do better than what they did in real life, winning 1 game. Now, just curious to see what team we did actually lose to. What if it was actually the Browns? Nah, the Ravens. So we lose, dog. So we take the Ravens' best players from their team, but yet still lose to them. That's Madden 18 for you. But now, time to check out the stats. It looks like Big Ben did win the MVP. We had the best offense in the NFL, which we definitely should have, and we had the 8th best defense. That's a shock, because the defense didn't have that many 90 rated players, but still 8th. I think there's what defenses could have been better than that. But anyways, Big Ben does win the MVP. Le'Veon Bell also comes in 3rd, so we had the 1st and 3rd best players according to the MVP race in the NFL, which is pretty awesome. And we had really nobody else. Now moving on to check out the individual stats from the team. Big Ben, 5,000 yards, 48 touchdowns, 12 picks, sacked a little bit more than what I would like with how good our O-line was, but 27 is not awful. Rushing yard wise, Le'Veon Bell, 1,600 yards, 18 touchdowns. Isaiah Crowell also added with 10 TDs. Receiving yard wise, we had 3 1,000-yard receivers. Antonio Brown with almost 1,500. AJ Green and Mike Wallace also eclipsed 1,000. AJ Green and Antonio Brown both had 11 touchdowns, with Mike Wallace with 10. And defensively, we had Ryan Shazier lead us with 122 tackles. And by the looks of things, we had 3 guys with over 10 sacks: Cameron Hayward, Vontaze Burfict, and Terrell Suggs. And leading us in interceptions is Jimmy Smith with 6. Now to check on the other teams from the AFC North to see how bad they actually did. So the Bengals starting quarterback was AJ McCarron, 3,400 yards, 17 touchdowns, 21 picks, was sacked 76 times. I think that's the most I've ever seen a quarterback get sacked. Leading rusher was Giovanni Bernard with almost 1,007 touchdowns, which isn't awful. Receiving yard wise, Brandon LaFell led with almost 900, and they had Giovanni Bernard, their running back, led him with 5 touchdowns. So when your running back is leading you in receiving touchdowns, it's not really good. Now moving on next to the Cleveland Browns, this is going to be absolutely hilarious. Deshaun Kaiser, only threw 15 touchdowns, so that's only 10 picks isn't pathetic. 55 sacks is not good at all. Only threw for less than 3,000 yards. Leading rusher was Duke Johnson, who they re-signed, who still had 1,000 yards, so that's not awful. James Conner, who they also signed, that's not good, 2.8 yards per carry, but did have 7 touchdowns. And receiving yards, our leading receiver had 700 yards, Philly Brown. There you go. That's why they did so bad. Although their stats didn't look as bad as the Bengals did, but Madden's wild. And last but not least, the Baltimore Ravens. They still had Joe Flacco, who had a good year, touchdowns to interception wise, 32-6, but was sacked 72 times. That's not too good. Rushing yards, they still had Alex Collins lead them with 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. And receiving yards, they had Stevie Johnson, who they signed out of free agency, with 1,200 yards, which is pretty goddamn good, and 8 touchdowns as well. So with that said, this team, stat-wise and record-wise, had one of the best seasons out of any of the teams that we have combined. But I still have a sneaky suspicion they're not going to win the Super Bowl. They're playing my Titans, who did go 11-5 on the year, and they do grab the dub. Now they're playing the Chargers, who went 14-2. And keep in mind, for some reason, Madden connected franchise simulations favor the Chargers in games. Let's see if they do grab the dub, and they do, and they're going to be taking on the Atlanta Falcons. So can the AFC North do the goddamn thing and win the Super Bowl? But first, we're going to check out the rest of the playoffs and see how well we have won the first couple games. We won the first game barely, and we beat the Chargers kind of respectively by 9 points. So it hasn't been huge blowout wins like we've seen previously, but they're doing the dang thing, getting wins, and getting wins is all that matters. So are they going to choke, or like I said, are they going to be able to do the goddamn thing and bring a Super Bowl to the AFC North? I know the Browns fans would at least be a little bit happy having, a fourth of a Super Bowl trophy. But with that said, did the AFC North do the dang thing and get the Super Bowl ring? And they do get a massive win over the Atlanta Falcons, 38-7. So yes, the NFC or the AFC North does do the god dang thing. So hopefully you guys did enjoy today's experiment, and if you did, make sure to drop a like. Let's see if we can smash 2,000 likes on today's experiment. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on the notification bell if you haven't. But with that said, I will catch you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.